Welcome. We're going to walk you through Lake Chapala, and we're going to start with where we live in this gated community. This is the security entrance. You have to check in, check out. There are many regulations that keep the place pretty good, and we're going to start off showing you where we live, the swimming pool, things like that. Then we're going to leave this area and drive you through downtown Lake Chapala, and then we'll start walking around and explaining to you what is what. Now, I've lived in Mexico for 15 years, and this is the first gated community that I've lived in, and we found this place by accident. But I'm going to say 75%, that's me, 75% of our neighbors are Mexicans and 25% are Canadians or Americans. And most of the people that live in this gated community are wealthy people. We're not wealthy, but we get by pretty well. Our community has all the little perks of a closed community, like a clubhouse for parties, a swimming pool, and if you look closely at this video, you'll see parrots flying through. There are thousands of parrots that have homes and nests here. We hear them chirping all the time. Okay, so now it's time to go. We're going to make our first stop at a taco stand, and then we're going to drive you into downtown Lake Chapala. Now, this is an overview of the city. So to be more specific, first we're going to drive you through the town. Then we'll end up in the middle of town where all the churches are and everything. Then we're going to walk behind this mountain along the lake. And then we're going to walk along the mountain, not along the mountain, but down the lake on the other side, and we'll end up in the park. Be sure to stay through to the very end, because we were going to show you a very famous cultural center that used to be the only train that went from Lake Chapala to Guadalajara. Well, we're in Lake Chapala. You can see it's a very peaceful place. It's Saturday morning. It's mid-November. It's about 71 degrees. We're going to go into town, look at the market, look at some shops, look at some street vendors, and take it from there. Okay, we're stopping at our first taco joint. These people across the street on the corner over there, they're there 6 days a week selling tacos, and they have people there eating all of the time. And you're going to see this throughout this video. People who have their own little businesses. It's not like McDonald's, but the food is very rich. And whenever we come here, we can see lots of people waiting to eat tacos. You can see we're at our second taco stop. It's right here on the corner. The lady's cooking quesadilla asada. That's like beef with all kinds of good stuff you can see there. The guy across the street has his truck all loaded up with fresh corn. Now that's white corn. It's the kind of corn I don't like, because that's what they give the cows. But it's very popular here in Mexico. Back on the other corner, they sell yellow corn. Okay, so we're in the Lexus, and we're gonna cruise down through downtown Lake Chapala. You're gonna see all these specialty shops. Telcel, that's the cell phone company. You're gonna see a bus coming up pretty soon. It says Chapala on the side. And here are some more taco joints. Oh, Rico's Tamales. Tamales, see? Now the tamales are gonna cost you about 10 pesos, and they're gonna have chicken in them, or puerco, which is pig. So you can see Chapala is a very mellow place. Here's a little fruit, vegetable place. I think they sell meat too. Most of the shops are specialty shops. Here comes another taco stand over there. Trace is doing the camera work. I'm just doing the talking. We walk by this guy every day. He's here every day. People are always there buying tacos. And again, you're going to spend like 10 pesos or 50 cents for one taco, maybe 12 pesos, but you know, and this is Saturday. People are out shopping, doing whatever they do, but the population here is only about 30,000 people, but people come from all the little smaller towns to do their shopping, to buy their groceries. There's a little restaurant, and I'm driving at about 20 miles per hour, and you know, but it's just so peaceful, and it's like this every day, peaceful. The people are so friendly here, super friendly. So we're gonna go park the car, and then we're gonna come back out here and just do some, we're gonna just do some walking around town. This is the downtown Lake Chapala bus station. It'll take you to many different places. You can go to like Guadalajara, many places. It's very small, but it's dependable. It's a 1 hour ride from here to Guadalajara. That'll cost you about $3.50. You always want to take the bus that is direct. You want to tell them you want the direct bus, or you'll stop for 4 hours to take an hour trip. Welcome to Lake Chapala, Mexico. That's where we are, and behind me is the biggest lake in Mexico, and it's called Lake Chapala. We're right in the center of town, and the one thing that I haven't said in any of these videos is Lake Chapala is just a beautiful place. Here we are in front of the Catholic Church in Lake Chapala. In every city throughout Mexico, as small a city as it may be, there's going to be a Catholic church right in the middle of town. And this we would call central of town. And the Catholic Church, they spent a bunch of money on churches. And when you go to Mexico, you want to go into these churches because inside they're very artistic. So now we want to look on the other side of the street. Here we are on the lake. You hear some Mexican music in the background. This is what you would call the malecón. All of this is restaurants and hotels. As far as you go, all the way down to the pink building down there. And every city that has water in Mexico has what they call a malecón. I don't know what malecón means, but there's a malecón in Puerto Vallarta, a malecón in Cancun, there's a malecón in Mazatlan, there's a malecón in Acapulco, and this is just part of the malecón. You can walk. We walk through here every morning when the sun's coming up. You can see the mountains in the background, and if we just follow the lake that way, we end up in Ajijic. On the malecón, on the malecón, on the malecón, hey! This is just one of the restaurants on the lake, on the malecón, the beer garden, very popular place. And the best part of the restaurant is you can sit right here, the lake's right over there, it's a great view, the food isn't great, but it's not bad. This is a famous guy. We're right in front of the beer garden. His name is Mike Lowry. He was a famous rocker. We have an original picture of this, but he's here all the time. You can see it's a statue. But if you come to Lake Chapala and you go to the beer garden, you're going to see Mike Lowry right out in front. And this is the Chapala Express. It's a double-decker. And this is owned by the beer garden. You get in here, you can sit upstairs, downstairs, and they take you on a tour of the entire city to the cultural center. They take you here, they take you there, and it's 85 pesos. 85 pesos. Yep. Yeah, 85 pesos. So that's like $4.25. Now these two trees are very famous because there was a lady, her name was Felisa, and she was one of the first people to make and sell ice cream in Lake Chapala. And so she planted these trees so that she could sit here and sell ice cream right here by the lake. This is a famous statue right here on the lake. And at the top here, this is the Virgin of Zapopan. The Virgin of Zapopan. And what happened was, years ago, 100 years ago, the lake went totally dry. And so the people put this statue here to see if the gods would bring water back to the lake. And without a doubt, they put up this statue, and all of a sudden, the lake filled with water. And they have this guy had an arm last year. The funny thing about these guys is, you can just move around just like that. If you had a truck, you can just come pick them up and take them away. Now, you can see these boats in the background. In Spanish, these are called lanchas. And you can pay one of these guys, they'll take you all around the lake for about an hour. We'll talk about Ajijic. We'll go to Ajijic. It's very close to here. But you get in one of these boats, they take you to Ajijic. You can eat and come back. And that costs you about 200 pesos or $10. Now, this is what I would call a part of the malecón también, or also, and it's just the pier. And you can see people come from all over Mexico. Lake Chapala is a famous place, and the richest people, Mexicans, come to Lake Chapala just because it's so beautiful and peaceful. There's like no crime here. It's unbelievable. Now, this is a statue of Jesus. Came up right out of the water here on Lake Chapala. There's an island right over there. It's a small island. So what you do is you pay one of these guys to take a boat over to the island, and they have a restaurant over there. You can drink beer, eat fine foods, and enjoy a fine day here on the lake. We talked about the boats down there, down the Malecón, where you take trips to Ajijic or to the island. But all of these boats, guys come really early in the morning. They go out and fish, and they bring back kilos and kilos, pounds and pounds of fish, and then they sell the fish to markets all over town every day. Now we're at the very other end of the Malecón, and there are lots of restaurants right down this strip. There are like 5 restaurants. Now, the first thing you want to do in any restaurant you go into in Mexico, if you've never been there before, is first go to the bathroom. Because as clean as their bathroom is, that's as clean as their kitchen is going to be. Now, this restaurant is not open yet, but it's fabulous inside. The bathroom is extremely clean, the food is very good, and when they open, they will have hundreds of people in here eating. You never know what you're going to see in Lake Chapala. Horses, cows, chickens, goats. You just never know. We're going into the park. It's another beautiful place in Chapala. Well, we're in the park now. You can see this great basketball court. And beyond the basketball court, you can see like 20 American Canadians playing tennis. They're all retired. You have to pay to play in the park, but it's like $1. You can play all day for $1. But they come here every morning, nice, healthy senior citizens having fun in the park. Now, everywhere that you've seen thus far, when we were driving down the street, when you could see the malecón, the restaurants. Now we're in the park. We do this walk every morning. It's about 4 or 5 miles. And then we come to the park to watch the sun come up. One morning, we came in here and there was a big Zeppelin there. It filled, this is a running track, and the Zeppelin was as big as this, all the area you can see, and they were renting rides in the Zeppelin. They could get 3 or 4 people in at a time. It was expensive, but you never know what you're going to see in Mexico. And all of the trees, it's just so beautiful. So here we can see all of the covered areas where you can cook out. Each of those little, whatever you want to call them, they all have little barbecue grills and families come. This is Saturday, it's about 1 o'clock, but on Sunday, this place is filled with people. And then they have big events in here like any park, bands and road shows, and this place is just filled with people. Okay, now this is Teresa's. I'm out at Teresa's clicking the button on the camera. That's my wife. And this is her favorite tree in the park. She says it tells a story. She says it tells the story that, well, she can't understand how the tree lives, but she says it tells the story of, yes, I can, yes, I can. And I start here and I might start going up. Maybe I'm not straight up like the other trees, but I'm here and I'm strong, and I've been here for about 50 years. Now we're in the park, and this part of the park is right on the lake. We walk through here every morning. It's so beautiful when the sun's coming up. This is the Lake Chapala Cultural Center. In the Cultural Center, they have violin lessons, piano lessons, they have concert pianists play here, they have authors come here. On the second floor now, they have a dance studio and more. Now, it's a cultural center, but in the early 1900s, this was a train station. And back here, you can see the original caboose of the train. We'll see it on the way out. Now, I think it was in around 1920 that this would be the entrance, and the train was in front. You'd get off the train and leave that way. But this train went from here straight to Guadalajara, and only very wealthy people could take this train. The train was only active for 6 years because Lake Chapala, sometimes it's high and sometimes it's low. So after 6 years of operation, the train had to shut down because the water was halfway up the building. So they shut it down, and the train has not gone through here since. This is the original train. When we were in the city, we were at the beer garden, and they had that double-decker green bus. Well, the double-decker green bus is going to go through town, go bypass the park. It's going to stop here, and they'll actually walk you through the cultural center, and they have a room in here that goes over all the history and all the important people that have been in the cultural center.